Alche Kellerman, I only have one question to start off this show. What is the time?
10:45.
Time is an illusion or something? What?
Yeah, time is.
I don't remember that. But I'd like to speak to your supervisor. What is that, a Hawk Tua? What did he call in? Today is a very interesting episode because we all saw a movie that might be the movie of the year, the decade, our lifetimes. One battle after another, a review coming in shortly. And welcome to another episode of the Box Office Buds. Alche.
Box Office Buds.
Alche, has your life been forever changed?
Yeah, it has. Paul Thomas Anderson has done it again. I think he's back. This is the movie. This is the culmination of his career. This is one of the best movies I've seen in the last decade. One of my favorite movies. I was smiling the whole time from the moment the movie started because it just erupted as soon as we went on screen. We'll obviously get into spoilers a little bit down the road, but my goodness. And is Leonardo DiCaprio like the character actor that we didn't realize he is? He is getting weirder and weirder by the day, and he is exceptional. And then we'll talk about Sean Penn, but oh my God, what a film.
Hold on, I want to take a time out. Kellerman, you don't have any headphones?
I do.
Because I just heard Alche's echo through your mic. Oh, you have it on there? So is it coming through my mic? Alche's echoes might be coming off of something.
They might just be a little loud, Kellerman, so maybe turn it down a hair.
Turn down my mic on the mic?
Turn down your headphones.
Done.
Great.
Kellerman, what say you? Has your life been forever changed?
I don't know if my life's been changed, but damn, it was a good movie. Cheese said Paul Thomas Anderson's done it again. I feel like Paul Thomas Anderson did it for the first time. He did it in a way even Paul Thomas Anderson hadn't done before. Even though most of his movies are grounded in reality, I have never felt like one of his movies was quite so grounded in reality. I feel like there was nothing heightened at all, even as extreme as some of it was. It felt like a direct reflection of the current time, and a lot of that I felt was left out of the marketing, so I was surprised by it. They deal with a lot of like ICE issues and white supremacist issues and elite shadow government issues. None of that is present in any of the marketing, and probably for good reason.
God.
But
yes, thank God.
Yeah, I know that you love when a movie doesn't spoil anything in the trailers, so it definitely hits that mark.
Tony, has your life been forever changed?
Yeah, was your life changed?
Listen, I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment because, there's a lot of hyperbole thrown around, especially in the review world. I will say undoubtedly this is maybe the most fun theater experience I've had all year. And that's a year where we've seen Sinners in a packed house. That's a year where the whole entire audience was laughing for the entirety of The Naked Gun. Like, that's also a year where I saw Warfare and was glued to my seat. Now,
a year where people were throwing popcorn at the theater and during Minecraft.
Yeah, for Minecraft. Yeah,
100%. And each of those movies that I consider to be my favorite movies of the year, I've now seen again, except for Naked Gun, and I'll see that again when it comes to streaming, and each of them I've appreciated even more on the second viewing, especially Sinners, watching that movie again. I plan on going to see One Battle in the theaters again. That is something I can tell you wholeheartedly I have never, ever done. I've never seen a movie for a second time in theaters. And
wow, I saw The Matrix 9 times.
That checks out.
It's mostly because I was really, for the entire, 2 hours and 40 minutes of the movie, just sitting there in awe. Like, there was so much going on with this movie. There was not a moment missed, whether it be the acting, the setting, the costumes, the music. There was so much in this movie that I truly, truly enjoyed. And I will also say, I talked about how the audience was laughing for the entirety of Naked Gun. The audience was laughing for the majority of this movie at such interesting moments. There were so many comedic moments.
That is the beauty.
It was great.
That is the beauty of Paul Thomas Anderson in general, is he's able to, first of all, the fact that he started developing this movie 5 years ago just tells you how dire our times are. We're not going to get into to the political scope of all of this, but the fact that this has been going on for that long, grounding it into reality that is so palpable right now, is a feat in itself. The revolutionary call. We're getting into spoilers. Like, come on, we're getting into this right now.
Well, just to try to go spoiler free as long as you can.
I'm so sorry. The fact that he is able to weave comedy in such a deep well of sadness, intensity, pain, and reality that everyone is going through in this political time is truly maybe my favorite part of this entire movie. I laughed so much in this movie.
It is I've heard the term used for movies that I don't necessarily agree with, but it is totally genre defying. We've seen so many genre bending and genre blended movies this year, but this is the first movie I've seen that felt like it just had it all. In like hardcore make you cry drama, insane hilarious comedy, horror at times. I mean, it really I was like you, Tony. I was in awe. And you mentioned that it's a 2-hour 40-minute movie. I feel like I get a lot of crap sometimes because a common complaint of mine is that movies are longer than they need to be. And this is a 3-hour movie that deserves every minute that it is.
100%.
It earns every second of your attention. And it is a 3-hour movie that needed to be a 3-hour movie.
I want to know, because as you said, they've been working on this movie for a long time. It is an adaptation from a book that he's worked with before. And I want to know, speaking of pacing, that was probably my favorite part of the first hour and a half of this movie was its pacing and the fact that how he told this story from start to finish, like to take Leo from essentially having a kid to now the kid's old and Leo's taking care of it and everything that happens in between. Like there's so much that goes on with these characters, so much pivotal stuff. And I feel like there was not a morsel wasted of screen time for the first 20 minutes till we're into the story. Like, and we've seen this attacked different ways. With Superman, it very funnily has the 3 hours ago this happened, 3 minutes ago this happened, and that was like, okay, cute. That's a cute way to do it. This movie, there was no voiceover. There was no like 3 days later. It was just told to you via what's on the screen, and it was wonderful to see. That was probably my favorite part of the movie for the entirety of the movie was the pacing and the fact that at the end, I'm pretty sure I got car sickness in a movie for the first time ever.
Incredible. As usual.
I agree.
Go ahead, Kellerman. Go ahead.
The efficiency with which the story is told, even with it being 3 hours long, is absolutely incredible. You have one scene of Sean Penn spying on her, and you get a full movie's worth of character development. Yeah. It's incredible. It was so incredible.
As usual, Paul Thomas Anderson trusts his audience. Similarly to Ryan Coogler, trusts his audience to get what he's going after. And he hires the best actors in the business. I mean, Sean Penn, jerking off in a van, told me a whole movie's worth of story. God. I mean, it was incredible.
Dude, Sean Penn made me... I
give him the best supporting actor Oscar right now. Right now.
Where has he been? Why did he stop ever?
He's waiting for this. He's waiting for this. He's been fighting. He's been fighting the good fight overseas for a while.
Oh my God!
Have you seen pictures of him? He's been chasing the Roadrunner, only to get blown up by an Acme bomb. That's what he's been doing.
When he's doing press for this movie, nobody looks like he doesn't want to be there more than Sean Penn. He
looks pretty insane.
He looks insane, and I love it. I love it.
I will say, Sean Penn, he was fantastic. And it also is a showcase, like, where I'm never going to be an acting teacher, but if I was, I would show them Sean Penn to show all these film actors out there that acting is a full body exercise, okay?
Yes.
He was so damn locked in. Every step he took was a character, and it was
in
so
character, yeah.
refreshing to see. And also, you want to give Sean Penn Best Supporting Actor. I fully agree he's up for it. I think Benicio was even better. The Benicio del Toro sequence.
Amazing.
He was amazing.
That
but no.
whole sequence. that whole sequence. Speaking of PTA, man, that whole sequence of I feel like we can get into a little bit of spoiler free.
I'm so
no,
glad.
that's
I'm so
fine.
glad you finally deem us worthy of getting the spoilers.
I just want to save it for the listeners who haven't seen it yet. If you have not seen this movie yet, we are going to get into spoilers for one battle starting right now. The sequence where they have to escape from the cops shutting down a city and taking over a city. And Benicio has all these people living in his apartment complex and hiding, and they have to go through a tunnel. And you're following them through this crazy maze of an apartment from the entrance to his where he lives to the hallways to the tunnels around it, and then on top of the roofs with the skateboard sequence like we're in West Side Story jumping over things to a hilarious moment of him falling through a tree and then getting tased.
Immediately tased. Immediately tased.
It was such a special moment. And then Benicio coming back and driving and getting pulled over as a drunk driver. I've only had a couple of beers. Like, give him any award that we can, please.
Oh,
I really don't. I don't know if. I know you're talking about Benicio del Toro in that whole speech, but I don't know if DiCaprio really gets enough credit as a comedic actor.
He's hilarious.
Physically comedic actor. As soon as we left one battle after another, we went home and watched Wolf of Wall Street.
Dude.
He also does some incredible physical comedy.
I mean, the Quaalude scene in Wolf is incredible.
Exactly.
On the New Heights podcast, they asked him what was harder to shoot, the Tase scene or the Quaalude scene, and he said it was 4 days worth of shooting for the Quaalude scene and 20 seconds for the Tase scene. But
Yeah,
not only that.
Sorry, Alche. I didn't get. Did he respond to our email? I know he's doing a podcast run. Leo's not coming on this one, is he?
He said TBD.
Okay. All right.
But my God, I mean,
Shout out to Leo.
Shout out to Leo. I mean, not only that, like the way he played stoned, the way he played drunk, the mess he was in that robe the whole time. Well, I mean, all of it. Just incredible. The glasses, like all of it. I'm dressing as that for till the end of time. He's basically the dude.
It's definitely gonna be a Halloween costume. And I gotta say, the promotional material that included him in that look turned me off. I didn't. None of that appealed to me. But in the context of the movie, laugh riot.
Incredible.
Loved it.
Yeah.
It endeared me to him.
My
I
favorite Leo.
I wish I had something critical to say about the movie.
I want to give
but
an
I
incredible,
just loved it.
Before we
Every
start
moment.
flowering Leo and everyone, like the first hour of this movie is anchored by Teyana Taylor. Teyana Taylor was a powerhouse, was a force to be reckoned with, was the only one who was like, what was amazing to me is Leo's masked up, right? And she and every other woman is like, fuck it. We're going full mask. We're going to be staring people right in the eye. It was a genius choice on PTA's part. And my God, was she terrifying and sexy and dangerous. And I had no idea what choice she was going to make from moment to moment. She was phenomenal.
She was great.
Really,
she was great.
Really great.
As was the daughter, Chase Infinity, the name I made fun of last week. She was listen. This movie can really fall apart at the end when you're now with Sean Penn and Chase Infinity, and then Chase Infinity with the Native American bounty hunter. Like, that could really fall apart if it's not that great of an actress. Because at the end, you have to believe that she's capable of climbing over the hill, stopping the car, getting that thing going, shooting the guy without any remorse, and then going through those emotions. And then the dad comes over, and she's not snapping out of it to see who the dad. Like that, with a lesser actress, will really throw that whole entire movie away. Everything we've built towards could get thrown away. And she carried it.
And that's Paul Thomas
100%.
Anderson as well. Paul Thomas Anderson as well, giving us literally one moment of her practicing karate. One moment, and I go, she's capable of this. Because, he trusts his audience. The thing that I want to talk about that has nothing to do with the movie, that is deeply...
Okay, wait. I just, only because we mentioned every other actor, I just want to shout out Regina Hall, who should not be left out, and was absolutely incredible in this movie. And again, I was like, where have you been? Do more. I want to see Regina Hall in more things.
I
Well,
love
no, they
Regina
got to
Hall.
cast
Okay.
Paul Walter Hauser in another role.
That's true. That's true. Oh yeah, everyone, top to bottom, truly phenomenal. Wood Harris shows up for 14 seconds. Loved it. The thing that I think is the biggest travesty of all of this: $21 million, $48 million on a $150 million budget. What does that tell you about the state of movies when this is Sinners? Started with what, 77 worldwide, I believe, something to that effect. I'm hoping word of mouth spreads that this is the movie that everybody needs to see. However, word of mouth may also spread that this is the movie that everyone needs to see who needs to see it, if you know what I mean. And that may deter half of America.
You're not wrong.
I said it before the movie came out. I thought that the marketing did not tell me enough about what the movie was, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. Terrible title. Terrible title.
They said it in the
Even-
first 14
No.
seconds. Come on.
I understand. It's mentioned in the movie. It makes perfect sense in the context of the movie. It does not tell me what the movie is about before I go see the movie. And I think that a catchy title can really go a long way.
I don't know if it hits that budget, especially after marketing, because that's a very high budget for this movie. But I do believe, like, for instance, I haven't texted many people about movies this year. Like, people other than you guys, of course, I haven't texted many people like that I kind of talk to. Maybe a buddy that I talk mostly sports with. Maybe some buddies back home. I might pass a TV show every once in a while. Hey, have you seen Task lately? No, this movie, though, I have sent to pretty much everyone that I've been texting recently. Just want to let you know, I just want to aside here, you should go see One Battle on the biggest screen. It's really that good of a movie. Like, the hype is living up to it. So, not to say I'm doing my part, but I'm definitely doing more than I ever usually do for a movie. Not for any reason other than I think it's truly wonderful. And I do want to be clear. I am you guys know where I stand on certain things. I am not sure that this movie is going to get that buzz that says, oh, half of the people in the country aren't going to like it because it's trying to say some things. I think it does it so subtly and not subtly at the same time that it's still a deserving movie to watch.
Oh my God, I couldn't agree more. It does
Yeah.
not push its agenda on you.
I agree.
It tells an interesting, character-driven story, and all the political stuff is a backdrop to that.
I will say there is one piece of the puzzle which I thought was brilliant and fucking hilarious. Is in equal measure them going through all the tunnels and all those things to the Christmas adventurers, suite, if you will. Like, that is probably the most, like, overtly, we are banging this over the head, calling these people white supremacists overtly. But they are calling themselves that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not anyone else calling them that. They're saying, yeah, we're trying to, fix the country, if you will.
Part of the horror.
Funny.
Part of the
Yeah.
horror I was talking about. And that shit's real, by the way.
Of course
It
is.
was so funny. It was
so
It's not a
funny.
made-up thing. I mean, none of those people are real, but that sort of thing is real.
I just
The
wanna say to
titling,
you
too.
guys-
I mean, I want to know when he and Maya Rudolph were in bed when she turned to him and said, you should call it Christmas Adventurers. That feels like Maya Rudolph has it all over it. You know what I mean?
Heil Saint Nick or whatever.
Oh, my
Incredible.
God. Incredible.
I do just want to say to you guys, Merry Christmas before they take us off the air. It was a very, very special movie. I hope it makes. Listen, this is the type of movie that needs to come back, and we're going to talk about a few movies here coming up that are coming out this weekend. Most of which I could be fine never seeing. And this movie
Okay, but
feels
before
like-
you go on to them, I'm gonna. It sounds like you're wrapping up one battle after another, and I do just
Trying
have
to.
one more thing to say, and that is regarding something that you brought up earlier, which is how good the music is, and the music combined with the sound design of the film is
Johnny
the
Greenwood.
reason to go see this in the theater. Unfortunately, I think by the trailers, it doesn't look like a theater movie. It looks like a drama that might have the same impact at home. It won't.
The
The
action,
sound
too,
design
man. The action,
and
too.
the music. There's action in it, but none of that is really in the promotion. What do you see? Some fireworks and someone firing
Yeah.
a gun in a desert in the trailer? Like, it's
Yeah.
not representative of the intensity of the film.
Agreed.
And the first music sting that
Oh.
makes you jump out of your chair is worth it for the price of admission. In
Magical.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Magical, and then culminating in what I believe to be the best chase scene since fucking Ronin. It is a perfect chase scene.
Very
Yeah.
Hitchcockian.
Yes.
I'm not joking. It literally started to give me car sickness as I'm watching this in a movie. And I do suggest, even before that, when they're meeting in the hill and he pulls off to the side and he gets out of his car, like the way that's shot, man, I see this on the biggest screen possible. I highly recommend it. Oh, we have to give it a rating system that we can now throw out because we don't have to pay attention to what the numbers mean anymore. But out of a scale 1 to 10, gentlemen, what would you give one battle after another?
It's a
Are we
box-
not including the fact that it didn't make its budget?
Kellerman, you do whatever you want. The restraints are off.
Look, it's a box office
I
5.
mean, I give this 10 butter squirts personally. I don't.
Yeah, to me, this
I
is
don't
the
know if
best.
we're-
This is the best movie of the year. If Sinners was a 9.5, this is a 9.8. Only because giving a 10 means it's I don't even know Ben-Hur. Like what is a 10? It's a 9.8.
Truly, I really just felt like it was just. I couldn't even describe why I felt like it was the best movie I had seen all year. It wasn't the funniest. It wasn't the most action-packed. It just had all the things in the right place and made me feel like this one.
Yes, there was not a single moment in the movie, like you said, that felt superfluous or extra, or a moment where I was like, that feels false. The whole time I was in, and I was obsessed the whole time, from the moment the movie started.
I agree with everything you said, and I think a testament to it, to how perfect it was done. I didn't even shrug my shoulders and roll my eyes when Leo was asking what the pronouns were of the kids that were coming to his door. That whole
Because he's
scene-
that fucking good. Because he's that good. A lesser actor would make that a terrible moment.
That whole scene when he keeps calling him hombre, made me
Dude,
laugh every
so
single
good.
time.
You know the
It
scene
was-
the scene in Bad Boys 2 when Will Smith is at the door with
Reggie.
Martin Lawrence. It's that, but way better.
Right.
Well, as we compare one battle to Bad Boys 2, let's wrap up.